First up is R-34-2026, a resolution to enter agreement with William F. Gardner as interim city manager for the city of Glenarden. Madam Clerk?
Resolution number R-34-2026. The sponsor is Derek D. Curtis, the mayor. Co-sponsors the administration. Session special council meeting. Date of introduction, June 4th, 2026. Public hearing, June 8th, 2026. Regular session, June 22nd, 2026. It's a resolution approving an agreement with William F. Gardner to serve as interim city manager. Whereas the mayor and council of the city of Glenarden have chosen Mr. William F. Gardner to be the interim city manager. Whereas the mayor and council have received and considered the proposed agreement between the city of Glenarden and William F. Gardner for interim city manager services, and whereas Section 818 of the city charter requires mayor and council approval for contracts and expenditures exceeding $6,000, and whereas the compensation provided under this agreement exceeds that threshold. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Glenarden, Maryland, that number one, the agreement between the city of Glenarden and William F. Gardner to serve as interim mayor is hereby approved, and Mr. Gardner's appointment shall commence on June 23rd, 2026. The agreement shall remain in effect until the earliest of A, the appointment and commencement of a permanent city manager, B, termination pursuant to Section 8 of the agreement, or C, mutual written agreement of the parties. Or 4, Mr. Gardner shall be compensated at the rate of $4,205.96 biweekly, payable through ADP upon submission of approved invoices in accordance with the city's procedures. No overtime compensation shall be provided. The mayor is authorized to execute the agreement and any documents necessary to carry out this resolution. The resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption. It is adopted by the mayor and council of the city of Glenarden this day, the 22nd day of June 2026.
Thank you. Is there a motion to bring this legislation to the floor for a vote?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Councilwoman Cross?
Yes, that's a matter of discussion. Again, this is a contractor overseeing employees of the city. And also, the contract itself is bought by the city council. So the verbiage in who brings this contract is very, I believe, is just interesting on this one. But also, I thought I heard that interim mayor is written at the bottom of this particular legislation. So just make sure that the verbiage itself is corrected. But also, just as a point of communication for the citizens' purpose, then the $4,000 is under the $6,000 limit, but it's 2 payments within the same month, which means it's really 8 plus almost $9,000, which is well over the $6,000. So as a matter of clarity, it still does not have the $6,000 threshold, but I acknowledge that Mr. Gardner has done a wonderful job right now in coordinating and collaborating, but I do have, again, concerns in how this legislation is brought, primarily because this is a contract which wasn't actually bidded on, didn't have a contractual, RFP put out there. It really is, almost similar to a hiring process that we didn't actually do a hiring process on. So it's more of an appointment. So anyhow, just for record, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, Madam Clerk, could you do a voice vote, please?
Yes. Councilwoman Cross? Councilman Harrison?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cross, can you repeat? You sound a little muffled.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Herring,
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Curtis.
Yes.
We have a quorum.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I just say some
Yes,
clarification?
sir.
This is, according to our charter, this is professional services. We don't even, this contract thing is, what she's talking about is totally irrelevant when it comes to.
Point of order, point of order.
Ma'am, I have the floor. Thank you.
Point of order, Mr.
I have the floor. Thank you. I didn't interrupt you when you was talking. Professional services, you do not have to bid out for it if you don't want to. You can appoint it, and the council did that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, next item is R-33-2026, a resolution, the appointment of Jasmine Smith to the Glenarden Housing Authority Commission. Madam Clerk?
Yes. Resolution R-33-2026, introduced by Derek D. Curtis, Mayor. Work session, date of introduction, June 1st, 2026. Work session, June 9th, 2026. I'm sorry, the date of introduction, I will change it. It should be June 2nd, 2026. Regular session, June 22nd, 2026. This is a resolution to approve the appointment of Jasmine Smith to the Glenarden Housing Authority Commission. Whereas the City of Glenarden established the Glenarden Housing Authority through the adoptions of Article of Organizations and Resolutions Number 8-64 on April 7, 1964, which authorized the execution of a cooperative agreement between the Glenarden Housing Authority and the Town of Glenarden, thereafter known as the City of Glenarden, and whereas the City of Glenarden and the Glenarden Housing Authority entered into a cooperative agreement on April 13, 1964, which agreement has been amended from time to time and continues in effect. And whereas the mayor is authorized to appoint commissioners to the Housing Authority with the approval of the City Council, and whereas the mayor has appointed Jasmine Smith to the Housing Authority Commission, and whereas the council has determined that the appointment of Jasmine Smith to the Housing Authority shall be approved. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Glenarden, Maryland, sitting in regular session this 22nd day of June as follows. The appointment of Jasmine Smith to the Glenarden Housing Authority for a term of 5 years is hereby approved. That this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption.
Thank you. Is there a motion to bring this to the floor for a vote?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Councilwoman Cross.
Thank you so much. And I just want to acknowledge that the council has not taken interviews on anyone that's been appointed to the Housing Authority. I don't even know if this appointment has actually housing or Department of Housing, public housing experience. I do know that our Glenarden Housing Authority has met its share of trouble relative to various appointments not even getting trained or being trained, but speaking on behalf of over 60 units, greater than 150 plus residents over there. So this is where we as a council need to be careful, because we're making appointments to departments without even ensuring that personnel have the actual skill set or a resume even submitted for this particular opportunity, which hasn't subjectively been our way of doing business in the past, where even when I was interviewed for the Ethics Commission, I was interviewed by the full council and mayor. I know it is an option that you can choose or not to choose to do, but it sure would be nice to know who is serving in the city before it's brought to a resolution or a vote. Nothing against the individual that's volunteered, grateful for your service, but just for record. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? As part of the discussion, I will highlight that in a public meeting with all council members present, I did introduce this. I did offer for council members to interview this individual. I asked on the floor, you can look at the tape, if council members wanted to reach out to her, they could have. No council member has reached out to say that they wanted to interview. Certainly it is the council's right to interview if they would like to. No one did. Councilman Herring, Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson and I met with HUD to discuss the commissioners. One of the things that they discussed was a need to have a commissioner with financial expertise. This individual, the resume was attached to the resolution, at least at the introduction, maybe not tonight. And this person has worked at Deloitte, and she has significant auditing experience, financial expertise. She's a member of Ward 3, and this member, if confirmed tonight, will be the fifth and final member that the commissioners need to do the important work that they need to do over the next 2 years to get where the GHA needs to be in alignment with HUD. So with that, Councilman Herron, I saw your hand. Did you?
I haven't seen the resume, so go ahead on.
Okay.
I'm good.
Call for the vote.
I'd just like to add that the resume, I've sent the resume several times to the council, and it was actually attached to the initial, when we did the work session, so thank you.
I second the call
I'll
for
resend
the
it
vote,
again.
and we can move forward with the vote. Madam Clerk, do a voice vote, please.
Yes. Councilwoman Cross? Could you say it one more time? Woman Cross?
Thank you so much for the clarification on the resume. Yes.
Councilman Harrison?
Yes.
Councilman Herring?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Jones?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson?
Yes.
Mayor Curtis?
Yes.
Have a quorum.
And just one final part. Once commissioners are on, there is required training for commissioners to be in compliance with HUD. All right, next is our 35-2026, an emergency resolution to approve the removal and replacement of concrete sidewalk, curb, gutters, and we removed apron, so it should just be curb and gutters. So we'll amend that. Madam Clerk?
Resolution number R-35-2026. The sponsor is Mayor Curtis, co-sponsor at the request of the administration. It was introduced on June 8th, discussed at the public hearing on June 9th, today's regular session, June 22nd, 2026. It's an emergency resolution to approve the removal and replacement of concrete sidewalks, curb, gutters, I'm going to remove aprons, as well as the installment of new sidewalks, curbs, and gutters at specified locations on Polk Court and Tyler Street, 3604 Tyrol Drive, and 1520 3rd Street. Whereas the City Council, whereas the City Council of the City of Glenarden seeks to enhance pedestrian access and safety throughout the community, and whereas the City Manager, in coordinating with the Department of Public Works, has identified the segment of Polk Court and Tyler Street, 3604 Tyrell Drive, and 1520 3rd Street for sidewalk repair, installation of a handicap ramp with ADA detectable warning mats on Polk Court and Tyler Street, and whereas NZI Construction Corporation has submitted a proposal dated May 27th, 2026 in the amount of $31,523.21 to undertake the installation, removal, and repair of concrete sidewalks, curbs, and gutters, install a handicap ramp with ADA detectable warning mats, and whereas the proposed work aligns with the city's FY26 capital project fund and is eligible to be funded through account number 7611-30-80-10 And whereas council passed Resolution 4-2024 on September 5th, 2023, to award NZI Construction with an indefinite quantities contract, and Resolution 4-2024 noted that the Prince George's County has conducted a competitive bidding process and awarded an indefinite quantitative contract to NZI Construction Corporation to perform all road improvements specified in the county contract, and the city's bidding process in Section 818B of the city charter has been satisfied by the county extending their contract with NZI until June 30th, 2025, and whereas Prince George's County's purchasing policies are comparable to those of the city, and whereas the council declares that the provisions of Section 818B of the city charter have been satisfied so as to justify the waiver of the competitive bidding process required by Section 818 of the city charter, and whereas the contract extension is documented by change order issued by Prince George's County extending their contract with NZI until December 31st, 2026, and now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Glenarden, Maryland, sitting in session on this 22nd day of July as follows. The city hereby approves the proposal from NZI Construction dated May 27, 2026 for sidewalk repairs on Polk Court and Tyler Street, 3604 Tyrell Drive, and 1520 3rd Street in the amount of $31,523.21. The City Council hereby approves the proposal from NZI Construction dated May 27, 2026 for new concrete installation, removal and repair of concrete sidewalk, curbs and gutters, aprons, and install handicap ramp with ADA detectable warning mats at Polk Court and Tyler Street. Total equals $29,892.37. Repair concrete driveway apron at 3604 Tyrell Drive, $1,272.79. And curb and gutter repair replacement at 1520 3rd Street, $385.05, totaling $31,523.21. Funding for this work shall be drawn from the city's FY26 Capital Project Fund, account number 7611-30-80-10, and the city manager is hereby authorized to execute any and all documents necessary to carry out the intent of this resolution. The resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage.
Thank you. Is there a motion to bring this to the floor for a vote?
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
I saw Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson first, and then I'll come to you, and I saw your hand, Councilman Wood. Councilman, sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. I saw on the proposal and also on line 63, I think when we discussed this previously, we had supposed to be taking out the apron. I know we took it out in the on line 12, but it actually it's saying repair concrete driveway apron, which is $1,272.79, and that is also on the proposal of the invoice, so wasn't that supposed to be taken out?
Correct. Yes. Yes, Mr. Gardner.
Staff has spoken with the resident, and the resident has agreed to pay for the work per our code. And so our intent is for the resident to follow the code, I think pay 50% up front. NZI would do the work, and then we would collect the remainder of the payment. So the city would not pay for that work, but the city would manage the contractor to do that work.
So the contract will still be for the 31,000, or would it be for the 30,000?
It would still be for the amount previously, but we would be reimbursed about $1,200.
Okay,
We-
go ahead, Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson.
So that was a verbal agreement, or you have something in writing?
I don't know if we have it in writing yet. It was a discussion. Mr. Green may know. Not in writing. So if it doesn't happen, then that work won't be done. The code, the city code lays out a process that, the city can facilitate the construction of an apron, but the resident pays for it. That's how this would happen if the apron is to be built.
Okay. Good?
Okay, I do understand that. I guess in the future, that should have been presented to us so we would know. Thank you.
Can we just get that in writing as well, please?
Sure.
All right. Councilwoman, let me go with her. Councilwoman Jones?
No, my question has been answered. Yes, I would prefer having all of that in writing and presented to the council.
Okay,
Because we want the citizens to understand that the city is not responsible for aprons per our charter. Thank you.
Great. We'll do that.
Councilman Harry?
I guess, I'm going to ask this question again. So again, this is a $29,000 contract. Did this go out to bid?
I don't believe it went out to bid. NZI has had contracts with the county for many, many years for this kind of work. And so we kind of piggyback on the county's purchasing procedures.
Is that section 818? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. Section, yes.
That's section 818.
44 and 45.
Section 818B.
You say B?
B.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, okay. I just wanted to make sure it was in the resolution. All right, okay, thanks.
Was it all, Councilman Harry?
That's it, yeah.
Any other discussion?
Call for the vote.
All right. Council Clerk?
Councilwoman Cross?
Yes.
Councilman Harrison?
Yes.
Councilman Herring?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones?
Yes, with the modifications.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson?
Yes, with the modifications.
Mayor Curtis?
Yes.
It's passed. The resolution's passed.
Okay, thank you. Next is R-36-2026, an emergency a resolution to approve the removal and replacement of existing duct installation system on the two RTUs on the rooftop of the Municipal Center. Madam Clerk?
R-36-2026. The sponsor is Mayor Curtis on behalf of the administration. Public hearing, it was introduced on June 8th, heard at the public hearing on June 9th, and today's regular session, June 22nd. This is an emergency resolution, strike emergency, a resolution to approve the removal and replacement of existing duct installation systems on the two RTUs on the roof of the Municipal Center. Whereas the City of Glenarden requires timely and efficient removal and replacement of the duct insulation on the roof of the municipal building, and whereas the City of Glenarden recognizes the necessity of removal and replacement of the duct insulation on the roof of the municipal building due to significant deterioration and active water intrusion which has begun to leak into the gold room. And whereas the City of Glenarden recognizes the continued exposure to water threatens the safety of occupants and may result in damages to city property, equipment, and infrastructure. And whereas the City of Glenarden City Administration has determined that immediate repairs are necessary to prevent further damage and protect public safety and welfare. And now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Glenarden, Maryland, sitting in session this 22nd day of June, as follows. Number 1, repairs for removal and replacement of existing duct insulation system on the roof of the municipal building in the amount of $19,800 will be contracted consistent with city procurement requirements. The mayor or mayor pro tem is hereby authorized to sign a contract with the selected vendor for the removal and replacement of existing duct insulation system consistent with city procurement. The city manager is hereby authorized to execute a contract with the selected vendor for the removal and replacement of existing duct insulation system consistent with city procurement. Number 4, funding for this contract shall be provided from the approved fiscal 2026 capital expenditure budget or other available sources as identified by the Finance Department. The city manager shall provide a report to the mayor and council detailing the repairs performed, contractor selected, and final costs incurred. 6, given the risk of failure that could damage the facility and create disruptions to events, staff is recommending that council waive its normal procurement procedures and approve the contract. Number 7, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption by the City Council of Glenarden.
Thank you. Is there a motion to bring this to the floor for a vote?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Jones. Any discussion? Councilman Herring?
Yes, I'm not understanding this. Was this last sentence that? What was it? The council waived its normal procedure. We can't waive it via resolution, though. The council waived its normal procurement procedures. There's justification for waiving the procedure, and that's only if it's a competitive bid process from another jurisdiction that uses this company. So I'm not sure how we can waive the competitive bid process just by resolution.
Mr. Gardner?
My understanding, and I'd have to look at the charter and code, is that the council can waive its procedures if it feels there's an urgency to the situation. Normally, you're correct, for this kind of service, at this price, you would do an RFP. Initially, staff solicited bids from a number of vendors. We only received one. Since this came before you, we've reached out to, I think, 9 or 11 additional companies, and we did receive another bid yesterday, or no, today, substantially higher than the bid that we first received, and we are expecting a third bid to be provided on Wednesday. But I'm fairly certain that you have the ability to waive that RFP process if you deem that it's an urgent situation that needs to be addressed. And we can certainly confirm that before we proceed with any work.
So you're trying to invoke Section 826, emergency exception, in the charter.
That's probably right.
What was the emergency again? Is it leaking? Is it what?
I think the duct has been leaking, and it has been repaired, and it has been monitored, but the vendors who have looked at it have indicated that it needs to be replaced. And so, as one of our employees said, it's going to fail when I go on vacation, and then we're going to be in trouble.
I mean, they wouldn't fix it anyway, but
We're trying to
it doesn't
avoid
matter
that.
if it fails if they go on vacation and not fixing it. I just don't see the emergency. All right. Oh, and just a housekeeping thing. On that previous resolution, it is in 818B, it's 818C. That's what needs to be changed on that resolution. 818C is what gives us the right to piggyback.
Okay.
So just we may want to make that change on that piece of legislation. So yeah. Okay, all right, that's all I have.
Okay. All right. Councilwoman Cross?
Yes, thank you so much. The question that I have is, again, this didn't go through a competitive bidding process, but also named for the contractor. And I just want to, just as an order of clarification, point of clarification, is the contracted city manager going to be selecting this contracted HVAC repair person? I just want some clarity for whether or not our contracted city manager can also help the city in a way of securing or selecting another. It seems a little contrary. And again, my government hat may be impacting the way I view this. So just a piece of clarity, if you would.
Sure. The proposal that we received after the initial round of solicitations for bids was from a company based in DC. They gave a proposal for this particular work and other work that, in their view, the system needs. Staff met with them and felt that they are qualified to do the work or comfortable with proceeding with that company. I have not met with them. The company who provided a bid today is a company based in the county. I did not meet with them. I got a copy of their proposal. The staff who did work with them when they came to look at the work that was required also felt that they were qualified to do the work. So hopefully we'll get a third bid, and if that bid is deemed to be the best proposal in the interest of the city, we would go with that. At this point, it looks like there's a fairly significant difference in price between the two we have received, and unless something were to come up, I think we would go with the lower bid.
Thank you. Was that all, Councilwoman Cross?
Thank you so much. I just wanted to be clear. We have a employee of the city of Glenarden involved in the process of reviewing these RFPs when they come back, and will be involved in the selection process as kind of lead on this. Again, my concern is nothing against you, Mr. Gardner, but you are a contractor within the city. And the city should be spoken on behalf of someone that is an actual employee, accountable to the employee manual for real. So just thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Councilwoman Jones?
Thank you. I'm assuming, or not even assuming, that once all of the bids are submitted, the bids will be submitted to the council, and we will have an opportunity to view each of the bids before the selection is made. I mean, that's what has happened in the past for things that we're doing.
Right. I mean, that's your choice. That's not how this is drafted, I believe. But
Okay.
if you'd want to see the proposals, we can certainly provide the proposals to council.
Well, I would appreciate that because of the fact that the one bid is, you said it was, is not close to the bid that we first received. Okay, it may be some other work that they're proposing to have done that the other person didn't. I know we're looking out for that too. We are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Harry?
Yeah, I just want to be clear on his contract. His contract actually, in which we just agreed to, gives him all the rights and responsibilities of the city manager. And it says he shall perform all duties associated with the position of city manager. So he should be making all the decisions and everything else that comes with being in that position. So I'm expecting him with his expertise to give us guidance on these contracts and everything else that we have coming through. Otherwise, why would we need him here? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I concur with that assessment.
Thank you. Any opposition to just adding a point to submit the proposals to the council? Any opposition to adding that to this resolution?
I think you also, if you're going to invoke Section 826, then you need to have that in here too.
Okay.
Recommend that the council waives its normal procurement procedures as stated in Section 826 of the city code or whatever, or the city charter. That needs to be put into you.
All right. We'll go to a voice vote to vote on this resolution to include the two amendments to submitting the proposals to the council
Yep.
and to invoke the 826, what's that?
C.
C. All right, Madam Clerk?
Councilwoman Cross,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilman Herring,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Jones,
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Curtis.
Yes.
The resolution is passed.
Next is the introduction of ordinance 8-2026, an ordinance to add a stop sign at Wesley Street and Glenarden Parkway per subsection 149-28 of the code. Yeah, I think after this, we'll go to a public hearing, and then we'll vote on it at another regular session. But this is the introduction to add another stop sign. Any discussion on that?
Yes, could we, the council clerk want to read it? So then can we put it on here at first reading?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Ordinance O-08-2026. The sponsor is Don Juan Williams, Councilman. This is going to be, actually, the date of introduction will be today, June 22nd, 2026. An ordinance to add a stop sign at Wesley Street and Glenarden Parkway, 149-30 of the code. Whereas the city of Glenarden continues to address traffic safety concerns throughout the community, and whereas Glenarden Parkway is a major corridor within this city and experiences consistent vehicular traffic, and whereas the intersection of Wesley Street and Glenarden Parkway has been identified as an area where additional traffic control measures are necessary to ensure pedestrian and vehicular safety, and whereas the installation of additional stop signs at this intersection, including those controlling northbound and southbound traffic, is necessary to promote public safety and ensure orderly traffic flow, and now therefore being enacted and ordained by the City Council of Glenarden, Maryland, sitting in this regular session the 22nd day of June 26, that Ordinance 149-38 of the City Code is hereby amended as followed. In 149-38, Schedule 8, Stop Intersections. In accordance with the provisions of 149-12, the following intersection is hereby established as a stop intersection, and stop signs shall be installed as provided therein. Wesley Street and Glenarden Parkway. Be it further enacted and ordained by the City Council of Glenarden that this ordinance shall become effective. Well, this is the first reading, so it'll become effective upon its adoption.
Thank you. Madam Clerk. Any other comment before we move on to administrative reports? Councilman Williams?
I just want to say, this stop sign is recommended to be put there to replace a speed hump that was supposed to be go right before or after. So we wouldn't have to spend all that money on the speed hump. So that's why it's there.
Okay.
And one great citizen, Mr. Fields out here, requested traffic control more because he calls it Glenarden Speedway. So hopefully with these stop signs down, they'll be addressed. Mr. Fields. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All right. We'll move on to administrative reports. First is the city manager and combined administration staff reports.
All right, Mayor and Council, this is my first time having this process, so I don't know what the expectations are. I know you received a lot of the documentation from department directors in the packet. I think it might be quicker to see if you have questions about anything that was presented instead of having staff kind of present the report, but I'll defer to how you want to go about it.
Yeah, if there are any high-level things that you would like to point out to council, certainly highlight it. Outside of that, I can open the floor to council members, and historically, we have given the floor to the department heads. if they wanted to do the same. But for your section with the your city manager's report, if you just want to open it to questions, that is
I
fine.
open up to questions if people have questions about either work we've done or work we need to do. We've
Okay.
got a lot.
Yep.
Point of order.
I'm sorry.
Just one thing. Could you, I know, so a lot of people probably don't know who he is, because you may want to introduce him, because I know,
Yeah.
people have seen him, but he hasn't been formally introduced by.
Thank you. Before I go to Councilman Williams, as stated tonight, Mr. William Gardner is our interim city manager. Currently, through today, he's working under a temporary contract, which the administration has the authority to go to under $6,000. But as you guys have heard tonight, we voted to have him to be our interim city manager beyond today until the stated factors in your contract upon us hiring a full-time city manager. He is a resident of Hinesville and has an impeccable resume, and the council thought it best, as you see tonight, to hire his expertise to get us to where we want to be and having a permanent city manager. So thank you. I believe you grew up in
Grew up in La Plata.
La Plata.
Been in Hyattsville since the 90s.
Okay.
But no, I'm really happy to be here and hope that I can help out. And there's a lot of opportunities and things that I'm kind of looking forward to working with council and staff to advance. So,
All right. Thank you.
yeah.
Former mayor of Hyattsville?
Yes.
Yeah. And former councilman?
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you.
It's been a minute, but I was. I was mayor when Obie Pinckney was mayor. Probably maybe when you were mayor.
And the former assistant city manager of College Park?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So,
Councilman Williams?
Welcome.
Sir,
thank you.
your mic.
Welcome to the city.
Thank you.
Prior to you coming, the council had voted on having speed humps. And the process from the previous city manager said that they was going to be installed around April, thereabout. It's June. And I know things got dropped in the ball thing, but can we get an update of when those speed bumps that the council approved permanent will be put in place? That's all I'm asking.
Certainly. And the approval was in April?
No, we was told it was approved prior to April,
Okay.
early this year sometime.
Okay.
But
We'll
we was
find,
told it was going to be after the spring, and,
okay,
am I right, Mr. Treasurer? Yeah.
Yes.
okay.
So do you know anything about that?
What I can say is that we will follow up and get this information back to the council as quick as possible.
Yeah,
All right?
because
Yes,
that seemed to drop,
thanks.
that
Yes.
fell through the cracks.
Okay.
And again, we got Mr. Fields here, and I don't want him to think that we passed legislation and administration is not following through.
Right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Jones?
Thank you. And once again, to Mr. Gardner, welcome to the city of Glenarden. We have an issue with the county concerning our public safety money from the build-out at Woodmore. We have been working on that. I'm not sure if you've been given any update on that. And I know right now that the county is going through the election process, and we might have to kind of wait till after persons are in place again, because letters have been sent to all of the former county council persons concerning this. So I would ask Mr. Stewart if he would update you on that,
Okay.
so that we could get some guidance on where we are, what the status is at this point. But like I said, with the election process going on in Prince George's County, we'll probably have to wait till afterwards once we find out who's going to be seated where.
Okay.
But a lot of information has been sent to the county and former county council members to inform them that we are looking to have our public safety money from the Woodmore project given to us
Okay,
for our police station. Thank you.
thanks. And the police station is certainly a project that I need to catch up with the council on and catch up with staff on, and it seems like you received proposals, but we need to evaluate and select or decide how to move it forward.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions for the city manager's report?
I got one more thing I want to add to that.
Yep, Councilwoman Jones?
With the police station, we also have a state grant that we're trying to move forward also. So as soon as we can come together and sit down and talk about that, I would appreciate it, so that will be moved forward. I don't want the federal government to do a clawback in the state, and then we end up with nothing. Thank you.
Right.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Williams?
And the elevator.
Yep.
We need to follow, get up the status
We-
on where we are with the elevator.
Yes, and I've talked to staff about the project, have gotten some background information about it. I understand that we need to switch architects, but we need to see
Now,
kind of
you don't have to
what
do
all
it here now,
entails.
but to
Yep.
just sort of follow up.
Sure.
Over the summer, where we are, so when we come back in session September, we can act if we need to act.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we'll go to code enforcement.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good. I think that all the council members have had an opportunity to review code enforcement report. So if anyone have any questions, I'm here to answer.
Councilman Williams? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Hello, Mr. Green. Can you give us an update on the UNO for Woodmore Town Center? And have we got compliance, or where are they still dragging their feet? Can you just give us an update on that scenario?
Yeah, so the notice of violation was issued in April, and so they have a full 90 days before the county will take any next steps in the process.
Mhm.
So I have reached out. I'm waiting for a response. I haven't received it yet, but I do know my last conversation, I can give them a full 90 days. That takes them to the end of June, so beginning of July.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. And what about everybody else have to get a whole new, where are we with that?
Yeah, so that's part of this entire process. So many businesses are still going through the process. I'm working with them to help them understand how to get this updated UNO. Some of them have started the process, and they're sending me proof that they have started the process. Some are not moving as quick as I would like, but the process is ongoing.
So are we going to be issuing a license without I guess that's my question. I want to know, are we going to be issuing a license without an updated UNO? New fiscal year coming.
So as I sent to council, my plan of action is for those who already have a UNO and it may not be updated yet, but they have started the process, we are going to move forward with them. But those that are operating without a UNO completely, they're going to be issued a stop work order.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I do have a question. Actually, it's for the city manager, and it's also about the election. As you know, they had an issue today because they needed some assistance, and Public Works wasn't going to be there. What are the hours of Public Works tomorrow? Because Public Works is supposed to be here the whole time while they're here. So what are they working tomorrow?
We did not schedule them this evening, but they will be ready by 5 o'clock tomorrow through 8 or 9 o'clock.
Okay, I just want to make sure that they have some assistance up there.
They'll be there.
All right, okay, thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for Mr. Green? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir, at the end. At the end. Mm-hmm. Next is the Chief of Police report.
Good evening, Council, Mayor, citizens.
Good evening.
I believe everyone has a copy of my report. Hope you guys had a chance to go over it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or comments from council regarding the Chief of Police report? Okay. Thank you,
you.
sir. Treasurer's report.
Good evening, everyone. The same. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. I may defer to reaching out to you if I don't have the answers right now. We're in the middle of the budget season. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding the city treasurer's report? Councilman
Yes.
Herring.
Question, and this is about the upcoming audit. Are y'all prepping for the upcoming audit?
Yes.
Schedule-wise and all of that?
Our intention is to try to have it ready by the end of August, so that by September, mid-September, we should have the auditor in.
And where are y'all at with creating a depreciation schedule?
That we're working on as well, because I want to make sure that we bring that up to date
All right,
as well.
okay.
So that will be on. Yes.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Williams.
Thank you. Can we, what year is the auditor doing the audit? Is this the second, third? Because some shouldn't go past 3 years.
This is the final year for the auditor with
So we got to
this
rebid it
auditor.
next year. Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
exactly.
I do have one more question, and Councilman Williams actually struck my memory. Where are we at with the trash bid? Trash, I know we passed 3 years, I'm sure, with the trash. Is a bid going out for trash?
We're not past 3 years. This is our third year of the contract. So actually, I was speaking to staff about that contract today, and I'd asked that staff reach out to Riverdale Park because they also contract out their trash to see if we can get some other companies and pricing to compare with the pricing that we've been receiving. But I believe it's council's desire that goes out to an RFP. Okay.
Okay. Are there any other questions? All right. Move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the topic of discussions. 2 topic of discussion. We'll start off with the FY27 budget. Mr. Gardner, Mr. Stewart, I know there have been, different iterations of the budget that were submitted, but wanted to give the council the floor to ask questions. And with that, the floor is open. Councilman Herring.
Yes, so what I'm going to touch on. I'm going to touch on the salaries. Again, I sent out a spreadsheet, and I spent a lot of time on that spreadsheet trying to figure out what's going on with these salaries. And I got your memo, and I'm not in agreement with it. We passed the salary scale in 2023, and when we passed that salary scale, we actually asked the company that did it to factor in a cost of living adjustment, which was at 2.5%. And then we would go from there, because we wanted to know exactly how much of a fiscal impact it was going to cost us with these salaries year to year with that cost of living adjustment in there. So I'm not sure where we got these, I mean, with some of these numbers on here, that's like 3% increases, there's 4% increases, and one position jumped from a 9 to a 14 grade. A step from 9 to 14. So yeah, I'm very concerned about these salaries. It's a $79,000 impact to our budget this year, because we're not in line. And none of the salaries were on the scale. And I actually asked, were these salaries on the scale? And I was told they were, and they're not. And even if you took the salaries that you have here, then they're not even on the scale. And if you use the tool like it's supposed to be used, and you go from step to step to step, some of these salaries, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at some that, can I share my screen?
Sure, let me give you privileges. I don't see why I cannot do that. Participants. Mr. Gray, could you please give Councilman Herring the ability to share screen?
Already did.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So like this position here, and I'm going by positions and I'm going by names, so
Can you
make it bigger.
yes,
How's that?
yeah, that's fine.
All right. This position here, and I understand there was a resistant realignment, but it went from like a step 9 to a step 14, and it was on the scale in 2024, it was on the scale in 2025, and then it jumped off the scale in 2026 with a 6% increase, whether you call it a cost of living adjustment or merit, I don't remember approving that. And it went from a 9 to a 14, and that was a 13% increase. And now you're taking it up in the budget to $74,000 when the salary scale only calls for it to be $72,000. So I'm trying to figure out, based on your memo to us, I think you're saying that we should be following what we have in the budget versus what we have on our salary scale, which was approved by ordinance. So I'm trying to figure this out because, it's not only this one, it's like 20 other positions. We got the HR position, same exact thing. It's they're jumping all over the place. And again, every year I ask, is it on the scale? Is it on the salary scale? And I take them at their word that it is. And I guess I got to start checking, like I did. But I think we need to clean this up before we vote on anything to do with this budget.
It sounds like there was a miscommunication after the salary scale was approved as to how the COLAs would be provided for that salary scale. And I'm very familiar with salary scales that have grades and steps. I think most people are. And typically, the step is you go up a step or not based on your increase of skills or experience, and a step is separate from any cost of living adjustment. And the cost of living adjustment is, theoretically kind of the inflation rate for the area for the year, and that's approved by council. And so my understanding is that for the 2 years following the adoption of the pay plan, for each of those years, council approved a 3% cost of living adjustment. And staff took that 3% and multiplied every number on the pay plan to increase it by 3%. And that's how it is done in my experience, that the COLA is applied to the pay plan, and you don't try to use the steps for the COLA. But in any case, staff developed a pay plan based on the original, added the COLA in FY '25 at 3%. Last year, added a 3% COLA to the pay plan, and that's where people are today. And in September last year, when you met with staff, the direction was to go back to the original pay plan that was part of the FY '24 budget and put people on that pay plan. And so I know Ms. Schultz and Mr. Stewart have been working to put people on that FY '24 approved plan, starting at their current salary and putting them on the step and grade that is at least what they're currently earning. And that's what was done. And once that was done, they were given a step increase so that, again, this is proposed budget. And I mentioned in the memo that with those moves, the average increase in salary for staff would be 4%.
Okay, let me say this, because again, the way we wanted to use it was we wanted to make sure we knew where we were going with our budget. Because obviously these numbers are all over the place. And if that was the case, why am I only looking at 20 employees that's off scale and you got another 20, that's about 40 employees in there that's on scale? So that's not true what you just said, because if that was the case, everybody would be off scale. And everybody's not off scale. I went through every salary. 20 are off, 20 are on. And so I'm saying, again, we need to follow the scale that we have, so because employees have a right to know what they're going to make. You know, sure. Again, if we decide to bump them up or we decide to increase it by, give them merit, then that's something different. But, we found, when I talked to the gentleman who did this, and he said specifically to me that he did the 2.5 as a cost of living adjustment, because to lock you in so you can see down the line where you would be with your budget if everybody just got the cost of living adjustment. And if you wanted to do merit or something else, that's another thing, But again, I just think that it can't possibly be true if I got only 20 here that's off scale and you got 20 that's on scale. So something's not right. And that's what I'm saying. We need to look at this and see what's going on with these salaries, because if that's the case, then you got 20 people who probably should be making more than they should be, or because everybody on here is making more than what they should based on the salary scale. So I'm not sure. That's what I'm saying. The whole thing needs to be looked at. It needs to be clarified. It needs to be cleaned up, and it needs to be justified, because I don't think it's fair for some people to be getting 9% increases while some people are just getting 4%. You got some getting, 13%. You got somebody that's getting like 20% increase. I'm not sure what. I mean, I know there's a realignment on these positions, and then you got some people just be removed from one designation from non-management to management without any approval from the council to a grade that's not even being used, that's reserved. Mm-hmm. That hasn't been approved to be even used. So I mean, it's a lot of things that's going on with this, and I think we need to look at it, and so the council can get a clear understanding of where we're going with this. Because, like I said, again, if 20 are on and 20 are off, that means that what you're saying isn't accurate, because everybody should be on scale.
Yeah, I'll ask the treasurer to address that for a second, but I think some of the increases that you mentioned where it looks like somebody received a 13% increase, that probably involved promotion. What I looked at was simply the salary that the employee was earning in FY '26. And then there are other positions on the budget where a certain amount was budgeted, the employee left, the position was filled, and it wasn't filled at the budgeted level. And so that might look like the employee was not getting what the employee should be getting, but the employee was hired at a certain step.
I saw those, yeah,
Okay.
I knew that was a new employee.
But I'm going to see if Mr. Stewart can talk about the difference between the 20 positions or so that you feel are not on the scale and the ones that are on the scale.
Yes, so the question I would ask is, do you have a copy of the pay scale?
Yes, that's what I did.
And did you really compare it to, because
I have the approved 2023 pay scale, that's what I did.
because you requested that all numbers, all pay be put back to the 2023 to 2024 scale. And that's exactly what we did.
No,
with
I said the
every-
2023 scale. I didn't say no 2024 because y'all maneuvered the 2024. Y'all changed those numbers on there. I'm talking about what we passed by ordinance, which was 2023.
If my memory serves me right,
As a matter of
The-
fact,
the-
every position here is on the 2023 pay scale as of 2024. Every position I have on the spreadsheet,
yes,
at 2024, they're on that 2023 pay scale.
right. So what we have done for 2027 is taken back those salaries to the 2023 scale, as you recommended, and give everyone just one step across. So all salaries should be on this pay scale. We have gone over that between myself, human resource, and the then city manager. I've gone over it more than once, and that's what we use to finalize these numbers. So all the salaries as they present now is on the pay scale.
I'll have to look at that and see, because y'all said that last time and it wasn't, and 20 weren't. So, I think that's where we need to have another meeting, another work session and go over this to see what these salaries are doing and where they're going and what you put on the pay scale. Because again, if you're putting things on pay scales and you're taking a higher number, which technically they're way over what they would be based on what we approved, then we need to look at that. And that's why I'm saying we need to look at this closely before we even vote on the budget. That's it.
Can we do a matrix dating back to 2023 when the pay scale was adopted by the council for every position in the city of Glenarden? What they were making in 2023 in accordance with the pay scale. Beside that, have the grade and step. 2024, what they were making, what grade and step that was. 2025, what they were making, what grade and step that was. 2026, what they're making, what grade and step that was. And then 2027, what grade you're proposing, the amount you're proposing, what grade and step that is that you're proposing. That way, we can see where it should have originated from in 2023. We can see over the years if it was a 9% jump or 13% jump, or if it was the approved jump that the council stated or approved in those years. And then we can make any adjustments for all that are not on the scale, making sure that they are on the scale. So I don't want you to then throw it back on the scale. I want you as is. My request as is to do it that way so that we can see those that are on scale and off scale.
Sure.
But that's what I did with these 20. That's what I did with these 20 on this spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So,
and if they're off, it's fine. I don't want, if a mistake was made and they were off, that's fine. Then we'll just correct them. There's no need to, try to hide it or anything like that. Put it as is so the council can see. And then, what's the other point that I was going to make? And with that, also resubmit the 2023 pay scale with that, so that each council member can have the matrix and have the scale and compare it.
Right, right.
Got it? And we're gonna have another meeting, obviously.
Yeah, I think we'll have to note whether people in that period left and new people came in, and so that would kind of throw it off.
You can add notes to it.
Right.
Each cell can have its own note. So just put notes on it. It shouldn't be a big spreadsheet. We're not a big corporation. We don't have that many employees. So where you need to add notes to whatever year, to whatever cell,
Yeah.
add it to that cell. We can hover over it. The note will pop up, and we can read that note. Instead of just having a notes column and then trying to push everything in that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes, will do.
Any objection to doing it that way?
No.
Okay. Councilman Williams, do you have anything? Oh, okay. All right. Any other discussion before I have mine on the budget? Okay. So I reviewed the budget, and I was under the impression, false impression, it's my mistake, that there was a higher amount in the budget for the police department as it relates to incentives and recruitment. It looks like there wasn't anything originally, and then it looks like now there's 88,000. And I thought it was 275,000. And that was probably my mistake. But I did see the back and forth. And so I would like to make a proposal to add in an amount that is reflective of what the program would actually look like. That doesn't mean that we have to use those funds. It'll be upon council's approval, but I would like it to be at the $275,000. Or, this is open for discussion, or another amount so that we don't have to come back to add money to the budget. And of course, it's not going to be in the police department's budget, so they can't reallocate those funds. It will be in a separate part of the budget, and it will be only at the approval, upon the approval of the council to administer such a program. The way we will pay for this incentive and recruitment is by the allowed uses for the stop sign cameras and the speed cameras. This is not something that's being added to salaries. This is, a program that is being developed and will be looked at by the council for approval. So with that, I open the floor to comments. I saw Councilman Williams first, and then I'll go to you, Councilman Harris.
I agree with that. The money has to be spent within public safety. And I think our officers, and we said, at least I said we're going to try to give them more money based on apples and apples with similar cities, Seat Pleasant, Capitol Heights, whatever. And down in Ocean City, I learned that even Seat Pleasant is losing officers. 'Cause people, they left here to go to Seat Pleasant for more money. Now people are leaving Seat Pleasant to go to other places, and it's becoming a problem. We're raiding each other's cities, which is not good too, but that's another issue. And while I'm speaking of that, I talked to the chief and I talked to Avio down in Ocean City, and they said they corrected their flagging. So according to the chief, they are flagging people, the tool, so we can get money from people who are running the stop signs. They can't get their tags if they don't pay that fee, and people have started to come in. So that's an awesome way that we're going to collect that $300,000 a month or whatever stuff. And we get to keep all 100% of the stop sign revenue, not 10% like the state. All 100%. It stays in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Herring.
Yeah, let me just say, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with no $275,000 going into an incentive program. I mean, we've given the citizens paid $200,000 for a retirement program that only 8 people are using. We trying to build a building, and that's another thing I keep on forgetting to look at. We only got $5.4 million to build this building. We don't know how much that's going to cost us. We drag it out. I'm looking at it's probably going to be about $6 million. We need to be putting some more money aside from the city side to cover this building. See, everybody keeps on thinking that money's going to be there. Everybody's going to catch on that the speed cameras are there. I mean, it's just a matter of time. Everybody's not going to, people ain't going to keep on running the camera over and over again and getting these tickets, especially when they start getting flagged. So it's not a dedicated revenue stream. So we need to use it for what we want. So they're going to be looking at a $6 million building, $200,000 retirement program on the backs of the citizens to the tune of $500,000 tax increase. And if you want to take that $275,000, give it back to the citizens who had to pay for the retirement program. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair, especially when you got only $25,000 in there for the staff, rest of the staff, and they want a building. So either you want a building or you don't. Again, the state's not giving us any more money. I can tell you that right now. With them being in a deficit, and we still banging our heads against the wall trying to get the money from the county, So I'm saying you want to shore up your budget for that building to make sure you have enough, because you never know what the cost overruns are going to be like when you're doing a construction project. So no, I don't see dedicating $275,000 on a incentive program. And one thing, like Mr. Williams just said, he said they're leaving Glenarden to go to see Pleasant for more money, and now they're leaving see Pleasant and going to somewhere else for more money. It's obvious. I mean, that's a sign that municipalities cannot maintain their current income or the current salary that police officers are getting at the bigger municipal governments and federal and state and county governments. We just can't keep up with it. That's why I say, you get your experience and you just got to move on. It's these small municipal governments are not somewhere that you can actually retire from. So I'm just like, get your experience, and most people do 5 years and go on to something else. But we had a couple of officers that don't really great at DC government. They used to work here in Glenarden. So, and also there's other things that we need to look at too before we even commit to that. I would not commit $275,000 in any way until there's a much more thorough discussion on the department as a whole, and until we get a new chief in here and we look at what's going on. Overall, with the department, with the buildings, with the cars, we don't know what we're going to have to do with, we've been buying new cars, everything. So I think there's a whole lot of other things we need to look at, because as soon as we put that aside, next thing you know, there's going to be in the budget, new cars, or new guns or tasers that's not going to be used ever. To the tune, we just did $200,000 in tasers? Yeah, that too. So I'm just like, this is crazy, continually spending this money on things that I'm just trying to figure out, what are we getting out of it as a citizen of Glenarden? What am I getting out of it as a citizen, as a taxpayer? We are the third safest city, and rightly so. But again, we got to also put a lot of that on the citizens who are not committing crimes. Most of the crimes that are committed in Glenarden are usually from people outside the city of Glenarden. So I have to thank the citizens in the community for being law-abiding citizens. So it isn't just the police doing their thing. It's the citizens also obeying the laws and making sure that they uphold the laws and rules and regulations in the city to make it a Glenarden a beautiful place to live in and a safe place to live in. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Cross.
Thank you so much. I'm definitely not in favor of that increase. I have high regards and respect for our police officers and the work that they're doing. I equally agree that it is to be commended that the citizens themselves are also actually doing a wonderful job in reporting and policing and carefully considering each other's neighbor, and my neighbor's keeper. When it comes down to incentivized programs, it's one thing to have an incentivized program and with an accountability to that incentive. The problem with incentivized programs, particularly one where you're putting $250,000 away for hoping to keep someone, is we're not paying people to do what they obviously love. It's one thing they're getting bonuses every year. We're giving them the retirement opportunities. We just retired our former captain. So we have the opportunities that we are showing that as a city, we want you to love Glenarden. We want you to appreciate the work that Glenarden offers, which is really safety. When it comes down to police officers, they're not as challenged as they are in other areas when they're in Glenarden. Because, like, again, Glenarden citizens and the respect that they have for not only their community, but that discipline is, a lot is on the backs of the citizens. And we've got a lot of work to do to build this police department. So we have so much attached to the speed camera funds, and I'm still not even sure we're getting all of our money, because as we look at it, we're only making, an amount that doesn't even match the $278,000 that you're offering. So at this point, then we would be giving all of our speed camera earnings over to an incentivized potential program, which case, yeah, I'm really not on board with this. I don't mind incentive programs. We do that through bonuses, which we do have a bonus program. We do have an annual award program. Those are things as well as the gratitude that we offer. But to put out, again, $250,000 program, ask the citizens to use their tax dollars to pay for it. We're not New York. We're not Washington, high crime areas where that kind of incentive has to be done. I believe that there is a respect and responsibility of everyone serving the city to respect and love the city of Glenarden and want to be here. And if they don't want to be here, then I don't know that any amount of incentive program will pay somebody to stay here. Because what we've seen in most areas is, again, people get the money, they go to another area and say, hey, I've been getting paid this amount, will you match it or pay me a little bit more? And they're still gonna leave. So we respect our police officers, we respect all what they're doing, but at this point, we need to see some respect back to, the citizens and not keep taxing the taxpayer. Thank you.
I'm going to go to Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson. I just want to be clear, this is not we're not increasing taxes for this program. So, yeah, as I stated, the proposal is to use it from the funds we receive, which are allowable funds from the stop sign camera and the speed cameras. So this is not something that we're increasing taxes to pay for at all. This is not a tax paid sponsored program. At this point, it's not a program at all. Mayor Pro Tem first.
Thank you, Mayor Curtis. For me, I am concerned about the building. Councilman Herring saying $6 million, I'm thinking it'll be quite a bit more, because it's been several years that we've been working on this building. I'm thinking like 20, 21. So I'm thinking that the cost of this building being built will be quite a bit. We have, like I said, $5 million. I think that, and the officers make it very plain often, we need a building, we need a building, we need a building. And my concern is, you just can't have everything. I'm not in agreement with this increase, this program, or whatever. You said it's not a program, but I'm not in agreement with it, $250,000, whatever. And even I'm concerned about anticipating the revenue or the monies that's going to come in with the speed cameras. You just banking off of something that hasn't happened. And even if we did get those monies, I would prefer to use it for the police department building. The other thing is, we've had money granted to us. We don't want to just keep going on and then lose it, because we're not using it at all. So for me, I'm definitely not for that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. So a couple things I want to highlight, and I respect everybody's opinion up here, so I appreciate the feedback. One, I've already addressed that this is not sponsored by tax dollars. This is sponsored by the speed cameras and the stop sign cameras. That's one. Number two, I'm not asking for approval of the program. I'm asking for an allotment of funds that will not be tapped into, that will not be used unless a program is presented to the council to be approved. And then, even if we approve it, then we can approve at what level we want to. So, for example, we can approve a program once submitted, and then we can say, hey, we only want to use $200,000. Or, hey, we only want to use $100,000. But at least we have the funds in the budget to be able to do that. So this is just an allotment. This is in the budget right now for 2027. We have $1.35 million that's anticipated revenue from the speed and stop sign cameras, and we have $159,000 in expenses, which gives a surplus of about $1.2 million. So even if we added the difference between the 275 and the 88 that's in the budget now, we'll still have a lot of funds left over. We'll still have actually about $1 million left over to divert to the building, which would be phenomenal. So just again, and then another thing that I wrote down is that let's say we go into 2027 and we see that the revenue is not matching what we expected, then we don't have to agree to anything. We don't have to, we can lower the expectations. If the funds don't come in like we anticipate or we propose for it to come in, we can choose not to go with it. This is just an allotment that is controlled by the council until nothing will be approved until we have a robust program that will be vetted by the council. Pretty sure there'll be different iterations of it. Council can, dumb it down to 5,000, whatever it is. But it will be, after we have gone through it thoroughly. Councilman Williams.
I got it, but can we suspend this part of the budget meeting and go to citizens' comments, because people have been waiting, and we can schedule another meeting to talk this. Obviously, we're going to have another meeting.
Okay.
So can we just suspend this discussion part and get to citizens' comments so that people can say what they have to say so they can leave or go if they want to? Thank you, Mr.
Okay, I second that. That's a good point. Any opposition for us moving on? So I will say that.
I'm sorry, I did have.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Councilwoman Cross, but we voted or made a motion to and voted to move forward to citizens' comments.
You had a statement. Is there any opposition? And my hand has been up through all of that conversation. Hasn't been recognized.
Motion has been made. It's been seconded. Are you saying you oppose going on to citizens' comments?
I had my hand up. At this time, it would be great to be respected in that regard. My comment is very quick, and it's simply, I said that this shouldn't be taxing on the citizens. I didn't say we were raising taxes on the citizens. Just a.
So we're, Councilwoman Cross? Yes? Do you oppose going to citizens' comments? That is the question.
Yes.
Well, a voice vote to move forward with the motion, then seconded to go on to citizens' comments. Council Clerk?
Councilwoman Cross? Councilman Harrison?
Yes.
Councilman Herring?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones?
Yes.
Councilman Williams,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson,
Yes.
Mayor Curtis.
Yes.
It has been passed that we move on to the next section of the agenda.
Okay, so we'll go to we'll go to citizens' comments, and then we'll double back on the priority for urgent PGC cooperation agreement. So, thank you, Councilman Williams. We would like to open the floor to citizens' comments. Citizens, you have 5 minutes. Once you reach the podium, please just state your name, what ward you're from. You do not have to give your address. And then you'll have 5 minutes to address the council. All I ask is that please be respectful. At the end of the 5 minutes, I will have to cut you off if you're in the middle. I'll try to let you finish your statement, your sentence, not your whole statement. But please also recognize that it's a tough job to try to manage citizens to 5 minutes. So please be respectful of that. I would advise you can take this under advisement or not, that if you have questions, to get all your questions out first, because if council members start to answer your question, that is included in your 5 minutes. Okay? With that, the floor is open to citizens' comments. Okay. Mr. Powell.
Good evening. My name is Anthony Powell. I live in Ward 1, and I have a question for Councilman Williams. Does the council ever discuss immigration in the city? I read a report that the Trump administration is trying to get rid of legal immigrants to the United States. Those people who had green cards and other legal documents. According to citydata.com, 27% of this Glenarden population is foreign born. Now, if the Trump administration forced these people to leave, they can't pay their property taxes. The city is run mostly on property taxes. Do you ever discuss this in your meetings and try to come up with some kind of solution?
To answer your question, we don't, since I've been back last year, we don't have formal discussions about the immigration issues and how many people are immigrants are undocumented. I'm going to say illegal, just use the word undocumented citizens and what have you. However, we do know that, especially in Ward 1, we have a lot of new residents, immigrants, shall we say, and they're buying houses. And if the Trump administration chooses to, would they use the word, denaturalize people? That's what they're going after now. They're going after people that, if you don't agree with them, they want to denaturalize you and send you back and make you not a citizen anymore. Or if they undocumented, it's an issue beyond our control, and we have to deal with the situation. But thus far, it has not been an issue that is brought to us or anyone complaining to me, and I don't think anybody else, to my colleagues, that it's not a problem to be solved right now, because he's talking about it, they're doing it, but it's my understanding we have not reached that plateau here in the city of Glenarden that has affected our citizens yet. And my colleagues can
I'm saying that he's trying to get rid of illegal immigrants.
I know, I just said that.
Illegal.
I said denaturalize people.
And this city is run on property tax. They can't pay the property taxes if they get deported. So do y'all ever discuss this?
No, I answered that question,
a-
Mr. Powell.
Huh?
No, we have not had any formal conversations about that because it has not been brought to a problem for our citizens yet.
The one fault that this
Or complaints to
population
us,
is
or we getting any
foreign-born.
phone call, at least I haven't got any phone calls or emails about that particular issue of concern from our citizens. Again, you can address the rest of the colleagues, I don't believe they have any either.
I believe that, at this point, it's just talk. As it relates to trying to remove naturalized citizens, I think it's probably plenty of challenges as to the constitutionality of that, and we're nowhere near that part of the argument yet. Yeah, I would, we are dealing with a lot as it relates to just immigration now. I would not want to dive deeper into the what ifs. I would rather focus on, what is happening now as opposed to, well, what if this happened in the future? And it may never, ever happen. But if it did reaches the council's door, yes, we would have conversations about it to see how we can, do what we need to do for our citizens, but we're not there.
According to certain online platforms, immigrants make up at least 1/4 of your population.
Yeah,
27%. That's kind of high.
I don't doubt that, but what would be your point with that?
I mean, do you ever maybe come up with a solution, see if people have a form where the people can check on the immigration status? Do they have all the documents filled out? Did it let anything lapse? Could they get sent back? They can't pay their property taxes.
Well, your point was for naturalized citizens to be denaturalized, and what we're saying is that we're not there.
Okay, that's just check.
Well, okay, thank you. Ms. Hunter. I'm sorry. I did, before you go, I do see if Councilwoman Cross had a comment on this topic.
Mr. Powell, thank you so much for bringing that up. It is to be noted that the city of Glenarden is a sanctuary city amongst other municipalities in and around Prince George's County. So one of our commitments by legislation is to provide opportunities and sanctuary, if you will, for those that may find themselves in that type of condition or situation. Relative to federal laws and different things, particularly dealing with ICE and those sorts, of course, they are federally sanctioned to do work, but we as a sanctuary city do have to, have our say on those topics. So I want to thank you for keeping that in mind and always our immigrant community as it pertains to the city of Glenarden, because we did pass legislation during the last term for being a sanctuary city.
Ms. Lita Hunter.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good evening. My name is Lita. I'm in Ward 1. I have a couple of things hopefully I can get out this evening. I did attend the last meeting, and there was some discussion about Judge Sylvania Woods and them sending invoices for money for a trip for the fifth graders to go to medieval times. No, that trip was fully covered. There was not one student that had to pay for that trip. So I don't know why we received the invoice. That is a Title I school, and it's a community partner school. And just like for the field day event, you also got something for the moon bounce and all of that. All that stuff was covered as well. They're also, Shabak also partners with that school. And a question was asked, do they have a PTO or PTA? And I don't know who on the council responded that, yeah, I think they do, but it's a small PTO, PTA. Well, let me tell you that the last time they had a PTO was in 2022 when I was the PTO for the school. One person serving in all capacities. I tried my best to get those parents to not just have their hands open to receive, but to also give back. Because in order for your school to thrive, the parents have to get involved, the parents, the teachers, and they have to get involved. There is no PTO at that school. And the person that sent those invoices is a guidance counselor at that school. Because I did a little digging and a little research. Now, I came before a formal council and I talked about the issues at Judge Woods, and it still exists to this day. I have neighbors that tell me that their kids are constantly called out of their name with racial slurs. I mentioned it. We can roll it back to 21, 22, 20, 21, 22. When I said what needs to happen is there need to be some type of intervention at that school so that we can take care of these race relations, the issues with the different races there at that school and the comments that are made. Because if it's happening there at elementary level, then it goes on to Kenmore. Then it goes on to Duval. And I could speak on that as well. It's just uh, look, I know it's a Title I school, but I will say from the time I was there are a lot of handouts that are given, and if you need them, fine. But if you could come up in there in a Maybach and you can drop your kids off in Mercedes and BMWs, and then say, "Oh, I can't afford to buy them uniforms," and then they just going to give them to you. That's a problem. So I'm just letting you know, don't be fooled by what you getting from Judge Sylvania Woods. That school compared to Glenarden Woods, which used to be our neighborhood elementary school, is a disgrace. And I'm saying it, it's recorded, it's a disgrace. There are kids here in this neighborhood got taken out of Glenarden Woods and now they got Judge Sylvania Woods. That school still needs a roof. Um, and then as far as any kids that attend, just because they're at Glenarden Woods in the tag program does not mean that they also might be at the poverty level. That's their intellect and how they test it. They got them into that school, but that doesn't mean that they might have some of the same struggles as some of the kids that are in Judge Sylvania Woods. Another thing is, I don't know what we can do as a council, but I'm going to start fighting it at the county level. They need to look at the boundary for Judge Sylvania Woods. There's too many parents coming from outside of this neighborhood bringing their kids there because Cooper Crossing is overfilled. Another thing is on June the 7th at around 11 a.m., I received a ticket on my car by code enforcement. I called the number from the officer who put the ticket on my car, who told me that I had no stickers on my car. My tags expired the end of May. I did it online. It wasn't going to come in time. So MVA allows you to print off a temporary and they tell you to post it in the back of, tape it up in the back of your window. That's what I did. However, I received a ticket, and when I called the officer, it got a little heated. Number one, I didn't appreciate it being told that I took a picture, I looked, and you had nothing in your window. I work for DOD. I'm on a installation. There's no way in this world that I'm going to drive that car on any installation, military installation, and my tags are not right. They wouldn't even let me on. So I knew for a fact that I said, unless somebody busts my window out, it had to be there. So the officer sends me a picture. This is the picture I took. First of all, the picture did not show my tag. All you could see was a reflection of the sun. I never even took the sticker down. I never took it down. It's still there, even though I got my sticker the day before she came, and it still was valid. My temporary was still valid. And her whole response to me was, well, you just gonna have to contest it. No, if you would have looked and taken your time, you would have seen that I had that temporary sticker there. And so she referred to me as honey, which I did not appreciate. And, it did get a little heated, but I want to thank Officer Green for coming out, diffusing the situation. He immediately came out when I reached out to him. He saw it. He saw the sticker right there on the back of my car that said temporary registration. So I'm asking, I know he addressed it, but
Ms. Hunter?
these,
Ms. Hunter?
yeah, I'm over my 5. I didn't hear a beep.
Yes.
I'm done. I'm done. Oh, well, I'm sorry. You could have stopped me. No, you could have stopped me. My apologies.
I tried, but
I didn't hear you.
it's all right. It's all right.
I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to wrap up that comment, if you want to reach it back out to Mr. Green as it relates to the ticket, I'm pretty sure he'll hear your complaint to address any concerns that you had related to that ticket. All right? Are there any other public comments? But online can't hear you unless you use the mic. Yeah.
Derek Brody's my name. Been living in Glenarden for 34, 35 years. And I'm going to first address the police department. Glenarden was a mess 20 years ago. So for whatever they're doing now, it's an improvement. That's the first thing. Got nothing to do with money, because these are our children's lives and things of that nature. So they're doing the very best they can out there. And I thank you. I've got 2 complaints, but I've been in here, and it sounds like there's a money issue going on, and Glenarden needs money to keep going on. Okay, well, no problem. Then I should get my money back, if that's what you're saying. First of all, the code enforcement, these signs that you all put up in the community that I live in, about towing vehicles off the street. My daughter come to check on me and my wife at 70 years old and has to spend the night unexpectedly and wake up the next morning and her car is gone. I don't live in an apartment complex. I pay taxes to try to do better for myself. I think those signs, for whatever purpose that you all have them up there for, I still don't know what they're for. People should have the right to park on public streets that we're paying taxes. Glenarden taxes, Maryland taxes, whatever the case might be. My car got towed a week ago from in front of my house by mistake from the code enforcement. And they checked and said, well, Mr. Brody, you got the wrong tag number on your car. My handicapped wife brought the registration down here when he started the program and gave them the registration to that vehicle. Now, they did call the tow company and say, release the car. I can't drive 2 cars at one time. My wife was out of town. So I had to wait while my car stayed down there to be able to be picked up, although my daughter and son couldn't do it. But they need to look at that real closely. Now, like I said, I don't know the reason why they put those signs in a community where we've been paying taxes for 30-some-odd years. I'm not sure what the program is doing, but I would hope that y'all can look into that. Lastly, I've got a personal trailer parked in my yard. That's probably 5 by 8. And there must have been something on somebody's mind, because it's in your agenda this month on page 3, I guess after the in-office memorandum on page 3, that the code enforcement continues to receive negative feedback from citizens with trailers who are unhappy with the enforcement of section 149.22A of the commercial vehicle parking restriction. This regulation prohibits parking of commercial vehicles, tractors, tractor trailers, combinations on public residence. I don't have a commercial trailer. I have a public that I bought and put public tags on. I took a picture of the trailer that's out front here, on back here, that had LG on it, says local government. I would assume that that's a commercial vehicle. I'm being penalized because if I want to cut down some of my trees in my yard or move snow or whatever to take it down to I'm penalized. She wrote me a $400 ticket from the code enforcement. In this somewhere that says the violations should be $200. She gave me a $400 one. In this same information, I can find it. Why $400? I don't know. But we need to clarify what's a commercial vehicle and what's a private vehicle. so we can know. I'll abide by the law if I understand, because she told me to read it. Go read and read it. And I read it. And it's in here. I don't know where I put it. Oh, here. I know the time is out. But if you read this, I took it off a line. It talks about another resident complaining about the same thing, that they don't understand what's a commercial vehicle versus a private vehicle. So if y'all can look through this, try to change that, and hopefully somebody will not have me pay a $400 fine for a 5x8 trailer that's in my yard. I don't have money to throw away. So if somebody can address that for me, I appreciate it.
And have you spoken? You can sit down. Have you spoken with Mr. Green, the manager? Have you met him?
No, because they sent me to the code enforcement person when I came to speak to them about, and they told me about this meeting. And I apologize, I ain't never been out here. I've been here 34 years, but I'm gonna let y'all get to the rest of it.
Okay.
And she said, come here and tell your story, and maybe they can do something about the ticket.
Yeah. So speak with Mr. Green, who is the manager of the code enforcement department, and he'll be able to point you to what the actual rules and regulations are as relates to the commercial vehicles and the parking permits, and then he can update us on whether there was an error made on the staff's department, whether it was you issued a $400 ticket versus a $200 ticket, whether you had to pay anything out to get your car out of the towing. He'll be able to update us so that we can make an informed decision on whether you should be receiving a refund. So before you leave, please reach out to Mr. Green. Thank you.
Oh, I want to say, I'm Deion Jones, one of Ward 3. I want to say good evening to everyone. Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, everyone that's in here, the council, all the directors and everyone that's associated, and also Glenarden residents. I want to speak on Chapter 43 of Animals, a bill that was sponsored and amended by Councilman James. I want to say for the record, I have always said, Chief O'Donnell was the man. Chief O'Donnell did not point out or single out Glenarden residents because of their color, because we know that, what color he was, or because they're gay or whatever. He didn't single people out. He didn't mistreat people or go behind their back and do mischievous things. He didn't do that. But let me get started with my stuff. Let me calm down. On May 29th, 2026, my best friend, he's here. He has a handicap disability. His name is Nathan Dumas. He's been in the city now for over a year, so he's a citizen as well of Glenarden. He was attacked by 2 dogs that was next door. Now, these 2 dogs, I complained 7 times and whatnot. And that bill, they were out. They came over, they attacked me 3 times. They attacked my cousin Peaches 1 time, and she has a disability. Actually came in the driveway and attacked Nathan's dog, Powder, 1 time. And 2 of the times, the owners were standing right there just watching. And I say, get your, dogs. And with the, okay. And then he started talking to the dogs in Spanish. And they listened to him and everything else. But anyway, Nathan was attacked, and when the dog lunged out, what they do is they sneak up on you. They don't say anything, don't bark or anything. They sneak up on you. He attacked him and attacked his pants leg and everything. And he had to back up into the basement. He yelled for me. I called 911. I called for the police for the city of Glenarden 3 times. So after the 47 minutes to 52 minutes, when a sergeant from Prince George's County called me back, and when he said, well, we put the call out, they didn't answer or anything else. Did you reach out to Animal Control? I said, yes, I reached out to Animal Control. After 52 minutes, Animal Control came, but I also reached out to the deputy mayor as well, who helped me, and also she reached out to the acting police chief. But anyway, when she reached out to him, I did speak to him, and I sent pictures and everything of what was going on, and the dog aggression. When I was really pissed because he was attacked, and he has a disability, but he's not the only one that's been attacked. And when I've been attacked, and went there several times, but I made notifications. And the acting chief, he knew about it. He knew about it. So I sent the pictures and stuff to him and whatnot. And also, after on June 9th, I wanted to say also, he reached out to me and asked me for the pictures again. He said, "Well, I accidentally erased those pictures, and you know, I don't have them in there. Can you send them to me?" Okay, I sent the pictures to him again and whatnot. So it amazed me how Mr. James had this bill, and that was good, amended this bill. It was, I think, operated 1976 or something. But anyway, when I looked at the literature, it amazed me 7 times. Get my family attacked, my best friend attacked, his dog attacked. Nothing's been done, no accountability. It's Deion Jones. You remember? Remember, Chief? Big man, huh? You never know who, or whatever. You never know who would know who. Like I said, Chief O'Donnell did not discriminate against anybody or base their sexual orientation or anything else. I'm a citizen. My family blood runs through those streets and named after the streets. This is my hometown. And this is a shame that I had to fight on my job, and now I got to fight in my town, and my rights have been violated. And when those officers did not respond, there was no accountability at all. So you want to ask for all this money, and we're paying high taxes and whatever. Where's the accountability and visibility? There's none. And I fought against this. He wore the badge of honor on Chief O'Donnell. He was a stand-up gentleman. When I preached about this on my podcast and everything else, about people wearing the badge of dishonor. I fought against the system of 35 years in law enforcement. But you're not going to mistreat me. And whether you see anything in the paper or whatever, you're not going to mistreat me and treat me like 7 times the dogs complaints, and also black bananas in my driveway and stuff. Dismiss. And you know, neighbors or whoever, just like the young lady mentioned about discrimination or whatever. It goes on. It's here in Glenarden. But it's bad when you have a whole acting chief or whatnot who stand idle and dismiss everything. And then in the meantime, my family and I are getting attacked.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I ask him one question? I just want to be clear on this. Mr. Jones?
Yes,
Can I
sir.
ask you a question? So the police never showed?
Not at all. After 52 minutes, 3 calls to 911, and the police sergeant from Prince George's County called me back. And he called me, and he said, well, we put the call out to them. They did not respond to the call. That's what Prince George's County sergeant said.
So when did you finally speak with the acting chief?
When I spoke to him on the same day, and when the deputy mayor reached out to him, and thank you, Deputy Mayor Ferguson, for that.
But they never came by your house to say, hey, I'm sorry we didn't come back. We were in
Not at
another
all.
situation or something like that?
Not at all.
So they didn't see the need to?
Not at all. Even with
Okay.
the black bananas, everything else, not at all.
Can I follow up with the code enforcement officer on this also?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Green,
Mr. Green, can I ask you a question?
could you come to the podium, please, so people online can hear your response?
Yeah, because I'm really, if he has 7 complaints against these dogs, were they ever cited? Were the citizens ever cited?
Yes, we've been there, we've spoken with them.
No.
They have been cited, but at the same time, we have not physically been there to see any attack that happened. But I've been in contact with Deion Jones a lot. He and I, we go back and forth as it relates to this, and we're doing everything that we can to try to deal with this situation. The issue that we have is, as far as for code enforcement, if we do anything in the court system, we're not there to see it. We have to go to court, he'll have to come as a witness, which, someone may be interested in doing, but if we're not there.
But if he has
see it-
video,
Yes, I mean, that helps. That
helps a
helps.
lot.
I've seen some of the videos, but again, the pictures and the videos doesn't show an attack. It shows a dog from a distance.
I'm not looking at the attack, I'm looking at the fact that they're off the leash, which is a
Yes,
$250 fine.
Yes, we've addressed that. I mean, absolutely, absolutely. we have.
And any other issue, like, because I did pass one for leash and the one for, defecating in the yard or in somebody else's property. So if that's happening too, are they getting cited for that too?
I haven't been made aware as far as the defecation in the yard.
I'm just saying, just in case, if
But
they're
if
running
it-
around all over the place, they gotta be doing something
Yeah.
somewhere.
Well, if it is, and we have proof of that, we're addressing it.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're using whatever tools we have to address these issues,
Absolutely.
because obviously, this is a problem. I don't care how big or small the dogs are. Dogs have teeth, dogs bite, and a little dog can have rabies just like a big dog.
Absolutely.
And so we need to make sure that we educate the citizen who has these dogs that, either you're going to contain your dog or we're going to have to take it to the next level. If that means taking it to the county or take it to animal control and filing a complaint with them about these dogs being off, being vicious, especially if they attacked this gentleman and they ripped his pants. Obviously, luckily they didn't get his leg, So and again, I have a major issue with the fact that you waited 52 minutes and no one came to your house at all. Because somebody should have came no matter what. I don't care, a phone call doesn't constitute a visit.
And I forgot, animal control did show up. They did go over to the house.
Mr. Jones,
It's an older gentleman.
thank you, sir, but, they can't hear you with that response, but 1 second, because I want to go to Councilman Williams first, and then I'll come to you, okay? Councilman Williams?
We've seen this picture before, and Mr. Jones, what I would recommend to you is you take civil litigation against your neighbor. That, with the evidence that you have and the documentation with the code enforcement officers and the police department as your backup evidence of a pattern, I think small claims to big claims, the lawyer, but I think when you start taking civil litigation, they'll start taking you more seriously to address that issue, because I understand code enforcement is saying that they can only do it if they didn't see it. But you got witnesses, you got police, you got statements from people, you can testify. And in civil litigation, then it's not beyond a reasonable doubt. It's preponderance of the evidence. The preponderance of the evidence. So more than likely. So you probably have a good case. So that's what I think you should take it based on what you just said, based on the code enforcement. Thank you.
Okay, and sir, you are entitled to a new 5 minutes. You don't have to tag on, a new
I'm just
5 minutes.
tagging, I won't be long.
Okay, if you just state your name, where you're from, and you can.
My name is Nathan Dumas, I'm best friend of Deion Jones, and I can attest to it that when I got to his house, the dogs just come out and run wild, and he had called them and screamed to get them over there, and they just let the dogs run wild, almost attacking my dog. But every time, he have called more than 7 times, as he said, and then they retaliated against him, said that we was neglecting my dog in the yard, and police and the dog people, they showed up immediately, threatened to take my dog after they called. But when Mr. Jones called over 7 times, they never showed up. Well, they took their sweet time, but they threatened to take my dog.
Who's they?
The animal control. So it's just like he been calling and not getting a response. But when the neighbors call, they get an immediate spot and they show up at the house to take my dog, to attempt to take my dog, trying to say she's neglected. My dog is registered and everything because she set out and it was hot. But she has water out there, food, and a place for shelter. So that's all I wanted to say.
I did have a question.
Thank you. I'll go.
Oh, okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson.
That's it. Your name is Nathan or Mr. Nathan? So, on the 29th, you were attacked by the dogs, or
Yeah, I was out there, spray painting a little piece of wood black. I was fixing something just out there and went to the car to get like some tape to tape it down so it wouldn't move. And when I turned around, it was at my bad ankle, as y'all can see here, swollen tonight. And he nipped it. Thank God I had on pants, because we didn't. He would have bit the exposed nerve actually on that side. And I don't know what would have happened, but he did that. And when I turned around, I slid myself down the steps and called him for help, called Mr. Jones for help. And he called, and the dog just stayed in y'all back and forth, running around in the backyard, coming towards whoever come out there. He was standing on the deck trying to call for them to get their dog. They never came out. I didn't see them standing there, but he said he saw the neighbor standing there watching the dog do that. And he called 911, and nobody showed up.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to ask, did John get a police report?
The police never showed up.
Okay.
Just animal control.
Just animal control?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
can we address the chief here, ask a question, help me understand what went on and your response to the allegations that's just been made?
Is this your question?
Your response to the allegation that no one showed up
Okay.
after 7 calls
It was,
on May 29th, that's correct, Mr. Jones?
It was three calls.
3 calls?
911 calls. And I said after 47 minutes, and then the sergeant for PG called, and then 52 minutes, then animal control.
Okay. On that particular day, can you give us a response to?
Yes. On that particular day, we had 2 officers. Well, the incident occurred between about 7:30, between 7:30 and about 7:20 to 7:45, 47. That's the time frame.
PM.
Yes, PM. That's what we're speaking of. So during that time, we only had 2 officers. We had 2 officers scheduled to work. One officer was scheduled to come in at 6 o'clock, and the other officer was scheduled to come in at 8 o'clock. So the calls came in at 7. So the officer that was here working 6 o'clock had an arrest at the hospital. So therefore, he was at the hospital with the suspect. Therefore, we had no officers on the streets at all. No officers patrolling the streets because he was at the hospital working. So then, like I said, Mr. Jones called. He called the dispatcher. The first call, he asked for the first call, he asked for animal control. That's what he asked for. Then the second call, he called 911 again, and he told the dispatcher that the dog almost bit him, but he did not bite me. Animal control the dispatcher then told him that it's going to be some time before someone gets dispatched because there's no one available. Then he called back maybe 3 or 4 minutes later, saying that he would like the police to respond now and take a report. Again, this is at 7:45. Therefore, no police officers were available to come there and take the report. The dispatcher never so the 6 o'clock officer had no idea what was going on. The 8 o'clock officer has no idea what's going on because he's not here yet. Dispatcher never dispatched anyone after 8 o'clock, or there was no other dispatch, so therefore, no officer showed up. Mayor Ferguson Pro Tem Mayor Ferguson called me and told me about the incident. I called him, asked him information about it, and then I told him that I would come by there. I went by there the next day because I was working. I wasn't in the city. So when I came home, the next day, I went by the house where the incident happened. Is that correct?
You could just address Councilman Williams.
So I went by there. And like I said, they didn't answer.
And you did not do
No,
that's a positive question. Did you do incident report?
No, they didn't answer the door or anything like that, so I didn't even talk to those people.
Oh, so you went by the house and
I left a business card on the door, and I left a business card on their vehicle for them to give me a call.
And no other communication since?
No.
Mayor, just follow. So you went by the neighbor's house?
Yes.
But you didn't go by the
Well, I called him.
complainant's house?
I called him when I was outside to let him know I was outside to get ready to go deal with his neighbor.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Mr.
So,
Jones,
I mean, at no time did you tried to go and talk to him face to face about this issue and what was going on?
I had spoken to him over the phone about the incident for about 45, 50 minutes.
Okay.
I have an additional question. How many officers, fully staffed, should be on the streets?
If we were fully staffed, we would have 4.
And so why did we only have one?
Because we're shorthanded, we're limited. We only have 2 officers per shift, pretty much.
Councilman Williams?
Two, all right. 2 questions, Acting Chief. One, is there, when we are short-staffed, is there a protocol to let 3D know that we're short-staffed and that can you cover our calls while we short-staffed?
Yes, so they will automatically cover a call, but again.
They can't say automatically.
No, what I'm saying.
They didn't do it.
No, I'm getting ready to tell you why.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
They will, let's say it was an accident with an injury or something like domestic or something like, they would definitely dispatch someone. But the calls that they received, they did not send an officer because there would have been a report. So therefore, they're not going to send an officer to that.
Because of what?
Because it's just a report. They would leave it up to the Glenarden police to document the report.
All right, so my last question is, since there hasn't been a incident report to this date, can you get an incident report from Mr. Jones?
Sure.
Please?
Sure.
So it'll be on record of
Yes.
that for documentation if he needs to have a civil suit or something like that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. And what's the protocol for when it gets to this level? I mean, is there, can we remove the dogs from someone's house? Or I don't know. It's just a civil piece.
What you're saying, like I said, what you're speaking of is an animal control issue. That's an animal control issue. They come, they used to come and take the dogs immediately and quarantine them, but they don't do that. They don't do that anymore, or they don't do that all the time. So the police department, like I said, all we can do is come there. We can't remove the dogs. We can't do anything. Back in the day, about 2 or 3 years ago, we could, and animal control was assist. We would do search warrants and take the dogs and things like that. We don't do that anymore.
Thank you.
Because they've changed their policies, they've changed their rules, so that's what's going on now. I mean, there's been times that, I'll use Mr. Herring's brother, for example, he was attacked by a dog, and, he had video of the dog attacking him. But during that time, animal control, they handled things differently, and we were able to get rid of that dog immediately. So, I mean, it's an animal control issue, but like I said, we will respond, and we will take a report if necessary.
Okay. Councilwoman Cross?
Thank you. I had my hand up for a long, long time as this whole conversation is going on, which I would ask that, Mr. Mayor, that we do exercise fairness when we are calling on people. But I want to say to Mr. Jones and to Mr. Nathan, I'm so sorry that you're having to go through this, but I am also on with Councilman Herring and the legislation that was to ensure that every family friend, four-legged friend, does have a leash when they're outdoors, for the prime reason that we don't want any resident citizens or guests attacked. So the fact is, there is legislation that enables code enforcement to actually cite the individual, and particularly with your recording, the citation can be challenged again by the pet owner. But I am not in favor of asking our citizens to go to civil court litigation, use their money, when there is city legislation that enables protection of all citizens relative to this particular issue. So I do have concerns with code enforcement at this point, as well as the police, because I do note that we have had several calls from senior citizens who have made several calls, and Prince George's County have come out. I'm very concerned that Prince George's County would come out, particularly with something where a four-legged friend is actually being aggressive towards another neighbor. So for that reason, I would ask that code enforcement also submit to this council a written response as to why the citations have not been executed in accordance to the legislation that gives them the authority to execute. And then, of course, the resident can also challenge that citation if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, just one other thing, and to follow up on what Councilman Cross said. So, and I think we as a council need to look into this to see what's going on. It really disturbs me that a police officer did not come to the house at all and did not go to the house even after we had somebody's staff to just talk to the resident. That's a problem for me. We say they're here to protect and serve, and serve is just make it sort of, even if you couldn't make it that day, you can go and talk to them. You should have talked to them that day. It shouldn't. I don't care who was on. Somebody should have went out there and talked to them that day to let them know that we are here and that the police are here. So I think we as a council need to look into this and see what's going on, because again, it's concerning to me that it was said. I think Mr. Jones said that the Prince George County said they reached out to Glenarden
3 times.
and nobody answered.
And I requested the police 3 times.
And they said they couldn't get in touch with them,
Not at all.
and that's a problem. That they couldn't get in touch, even if even if you couldn't make it, it seemed like they would have gotten in touch with them and would have told them, well, we can't get in touch with them, and they would have sent somebody. So we need to look and see what's going on here, honestly. Thank you.
Just one brief question, because I don't want to belabor this point. So when dispatch calls the city of Glenarden for the officer that was already had a suspect, would he have heard the dispatch call, and could he have said, we don't have any available units?
No, she wouldn't even have made the call to him, because she knows that she sees where he's at on her board. So she wouldn't even dispatch the call to him. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So the sergeant that probably 9 times out of 10, the sergeant that called was the sergeant that works at communications. That's probably the person that called back.
So you're saying that the call never came to the city of Glenarden?
That is correct. That's what I'm saying. We did not get the call. We did not get the call because the officers were not available.
Okay.
So they're not going to dispatch them. And then the sergeant, what he just said, the sergeant just called from communications to let him know that they were unable to get in contact with the police.
Okay. All right. I was just curious.
Yeah, can I follow up on that right quick, just out of curiosity? Because if I call 911 because I'm being attacked, and they're going to try to go from police to police officer in Glenarden to find somebody who's going to answer before they dispatch somebody, is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, when he made the second call, he said that the dog was trying to attack him, but he did not, and he didn't bite me. So therefore, that changed the priority of the call.
Just address the council.
That changed the priority of the call. That's why the dispatcher didn't dispatch it out.
But if he was out there with a gun ready to shoot the dog, then they would have sent somebody. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
thanks.
And I see Ms. Tamika Jones on there. And just to clarify the point of hands being raised long, I have a lot to do in managing this meeting, and so I look to my left, to my right of our council members to, if they have questions or comments, and so for council members online, it is secondary, because I have to then look back to the screen to see if there's a hand raised. So unfortunately, that's the downside to not being in person. But when I do see a hand raised, I do call on it. Ms. Tamika Jones?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to piggyback and bring some clarity to Mr. Brody's point as far as the trailer. So I have been dealing with this for quite some time now, and just with all like the other citizens, when I first speak to them concerning the trailer, I'd like to educate them, because there has been a lot of confusion with section 149.22.1. it's a commercial vehicle parking headliner, but you have subject A and B that differentiates between commercial vehicle use and the ones we refer to A, which says no person shall park any commercial vehicle. I'm sorry, we don't refer to A. We refer to B. No person shall park any commercial vehicle or other tractor, trailer, or tractor. I'm sorry, y'all. Forgive me. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me back up. We refer to Section A under 149.22.1. No person shall park any commercial vehicle or other tractor, trailer, or tractor. And I'm reading from the short version online. So there's confusion because they want to put the trailer as we're saying that we're calling their trailer a commercial vehicle. It's not that it's a commercial vehicle, it's the trailer itself. No trailers are allowed.
Miss Jones, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, when people online speak, my mic unfortunately is I guess it's muted, so you can't hear me when I'm trying to say something. But I would advise you to research it. The gentleman in house is already going to talk to Mr. Green. I don't dispute what you're saying, but for the sake of time, if you can reach out to Mr. Green to update him on what's going on, and then you guys collectively can reach out to the citizen, then that will be great.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear that there was no mistake on that or the fine. The fine doubled because the agreement was not agreed upon. He did not remove the trailer within the due date that we agreed upon. In fact, it was removed at one point, and then he brought it back. I gave additional time.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I get it, and I'm pretty sure you can share the facts with Mr. Green, and you guys can figure that out. And so if there is a grievance that the citizen, I'm sorry, I forgot your name, sir. Mr. Brody would like to bring to the council that he can, and Mr. Green can bring all the facts after you've spoken with him, can bring all the facts to the council, and then the council, if we do want to step in to adjudicate, the fines in the city, that we can. But just reach out to Mr. Green, and you guys can work it out.
Okay. Will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Briefly, Councilwoman Cross, because we have citizens that want to speak.
Yeah, really quick, thank you. For the management of the meeting, we do have a clerk there. If she could possibly watch the people that are online to ensure that if you're not able to see, that she can also be of assistance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
And Mayor Pro Temp. My name is Melvin Fields. I live down the street from town here. I'm in city here. I'm here to get an update, which I think Councilman Williams.
He said woman too.
Councilman
He
Williams.
said woman too. You did the same thing he did. He called me Councilwoman too.
I'm very sorry. Councilman already enlightened me on the update as far as the road, Glenarden Parkway, which I call Glenarden Motor Speedway. So he enlightened me that the city didn't have a city manager or an assistant city manager, which kind of delayed the process in getting those speed bumps put up. But the stop sign is helping a little, not much, because they'll run that stop sign, the one that has the Christmas tree, I call them, effect around it, the red lights. I would say about 70% of the people do stop for that stop sign, but another 30%, they'll go straight through. They'll go straight through that stop sign, and I'm scared they're gonna have an accident there one day. 'Cause we gotta hurry and get those speed bumps. Now, you did say something about changing one of the speed bumps to a stop sign. That's,
Wesley.
yeah, Wesley, that's right, on Wesley. I think that would help. But, so we're down to now 4 speed bumps. I mean, 3 speed bumps. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Okay, 3 speed bumps. Okay. That's good, that's good. My concern now is, are they gonna have cameras on them? The stop signs, just like they have on Ward 1, Ward 3, they do have the cameras on them. Are they gonna have the cameras on them?
I do have a question. I thought that the stop signs were in lieu of speed bumps on Glenarden Parkway.
Yes.
So there won't be 3 on.
It'd be two now, right? One at the top. It was supposed to be 4. But wherever the barrels.
There was originally 4.
Yeah. But we'll verify that and get back to you, Mr.
Oh, okay. All right.
But to answer the question,
Yeah, go ahead.
your question was, are there going to be cameras on it?
Yeah, but
And
they'll run those stop signs. I know
Yeah,
that.
so let's get them in place for a little while, and then we'll ask either code enforcement or one of the police officers to monitor it. And if that continue, they running and giving tickets running, and then it's worth, because I talked to the Red Speed down there, and they can move. They was talking about moving, and were y'all aware they was talking about moving the one on Bright Seat Road?
Stop sign camera?
Red speed.
Red Speed.
Red speed.
They was talking about moving it.
Because it wasn't, at this time, it's not generating anything.
Right. And I told them that they was gonna move, wherever they were gonna move it, or they were gonna, move it on Glenarden Parkway.
That's where it was.
It was,
Yeah.
but I said, but they have stop signs coming there now, so if you move it there, it's not gonna, so, but I don't know about the OVO because I didn't talk about adding them or whatever case, but if it becomes a consistent problem, we can ask
Okay.
OVO, whatever the name of the company, to put
Yeah,
it there.
and what we did with the current stop sign cameras is that we did a study on how often the people ran those stop signs. And those are the areas that received the stop sign cameras because they were like, I mean, it was a lot of violations at those times. So as Councilman Williams stated, we'll do an assessment of, okay, who's actually running stop? Is it as egregious as where they have them now? And if necessary, then the council can make a decision to add one or not.
Okay, that sounds good. All right. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
All right, thank you. Are there any other public comments? Anyone online? All right. Here none, we'll touch on the last topic of discussion, which is the PGC cooperation agreement regarding community development block grant. I know, Council Clerk Robinson sent that out to council members, and I think the decision is whether we want to continue being attached with the county as we have been. So if there aren't any objections, then Mr. Gardner will respond, because if we don't respond, then they'll assume that they want a response, but if we don't respond, they'll assume they want to continue with the program. And if we don't want to continue with the program, we have to respond and say that we don't want to be attached to the county. So are there any comments or objections with us stick with the county as it relates to the PGC cooperation agreement regarding the community development block grant with urban county qualification? Okay, so we'll continue.
Okay, we're gonna continue,
Well, they can't hear you. Councilwoman Jones?
Can you kind of explain this to me, please?
I can explain it at a pretty general level. If you go with the county receives additional funds based on the municipalities that are part of the county count towards their allocation. And then we submit proposals to the county that qualify for this type of funding. And the county sometimes funds them, sometimes won't fund them. If we go on our own, then we have to apply directly to HUD. And I've never been through that process, but I know years ago, College Park wasn't happy with the allocations it was getting from the county, and for one cycle, went on its own through HUD and found it to be kind of more cumbersome and not really any better at getting funding for projects.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right. I believe that was two items. One, we have to, since this was the last official meeting, scheduled meeting, we have to determine the availability of council members for a follow-up meeting for the budget, and whether we want a work session to go over this and then a regular session to vote on the budget, or do we want just all together to have it in one meeting? I will recommend maybe having a brief meeting to have that matrix explained to us, have us go through it, ask questions. Doesn't have to be a long meeting, and then following up with and make sure we get the updated budget based on the meeting, so that council members can have time to look at it, and then having another meeting to just come together to vote on as an emergency ordinance. Any opposition to that process before I ask for availability? Okay. How long do you need to develop that matrix? Can you have it by Monday?
I would say by Thursday. This Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean.
Let me push for that.
So if you can have it to us by Thursday.
Yes.
And we can have a meeting on Monday.
So it would give you time to look at it as well.
Okay.
You're out next week, right?
Yeah, but I could do do it.
Is that a conference?
The first one will be virtual.
Virtual, yes.
All right, so you'll have it to the council by Thursday. Are council members available, let's say 6:30 Monday? No? Any opposition to 6:30 on Monday? I know one member is not available. Okay, we can shoot for 6:30 on Monday, and then Monday we can determine the next meeting based on availability. The only other item, since this is a regular session, I would like to make a motion to extend our contract with our council clerk. I know we're heading into recess, and I know we have resumes that Ms. Schultz provided to us, but I don't think we're going to have enough time to go through all those things before recess. So I'm making a motion that we extend the contract with our interim council clerk through September to give us some time to go through all the stuff, have interviews, and then come back and make a decision.
So we just leave it open until the other?
No, the last one was Mayor Pro Tem Ferguson extended it to June, but we can make it amended to actually reflect the verbiage that's in interim city managers, that'll be filled similar. Good point.
Send it to Phil.
Yep. Yep. Any opposition to that? No. Well, I made a motion. Is there a second? Any opposition? No? All right. Thank you. The time is 10:11. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.